Right now we're going to explain and demonstrate the black belt self-defense for set number 3. So this is for first degrees, set number 3 in accordance to the testing cycle. So I'm here with Mr. Martin. All the attacks are going to be off of shoulder grabs or attempted pushes. So Mr. Martin is going to grab my shoulders for number 1. I'm going to take one of my arms, I'm going to reach through the middle. I'm going to wrap it around his arm so that I get this bend in the arm. And if you notice, he's leading this way. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to crank and also just walk backwards until he gets to the ground. Once I get here, I can strike him on my way down, but that's up to you. As long as you get them down on the ground, that's the most important part. So let's do that again. So he's going to grab my shoulders. This is self-defense number 1. I'm going to take my opposite hand now. I'm going to go through the middle. I'm going to wrap my arm around, so that way you can see the bend in his arm, you can see that elbow, creating that tension in his shoulder. Once I've got this, I just crank and I walk backwards, so then that way he gets down to the ground. Okay? And that is self-defense number 1. Self-defense number 2 is also from a shoulder grab. It could either be from a 2-handed shoulder grab or a 1-handed shoulder grab. It doesn't matter, you're just going to be using one arm. So he's just going to grab you with whatever hand he wants, or he's going to grab me with 2. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pin one arm with my head, and I'm going to trap it between my head and my shoulder. I'm going to bring his arm around here, and I'm going to lock the arm and spin, so that way I use his body, the momentum of his body to go down on the ground. Okay? So right now I'm just using leverage instead of power to take him down on the ground. So again, we're going to do it again. So he grabs my shoulders. I'll go the other way this time. So I pin his hand in between my ear and my shoulder, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to twist the arm so that way I get him into a little bit of an arm bar here. Once I've got this locked, I'm going to bring him down on the ground. Okay, so that was self-defense number 2. Moving on to number 3, this one is off of an attempted push. So he's going to try to push me, I'm going to do this move right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my arms up, and once I've got that, his arms are open off to the sides. I'm going to take one of my arms, reach underneath his armpit. I'm going to do a knee strike. Take his head, and this little opening right here, I'm going to bring his head through the middle. But at the same time, I still keep control of his arm. Once I've got that, I'm going to lift him up just a little bit, so that way I can create a little bit of space for me to lock this in. So I'm going to take the leg that's closest to his head, bring it down on the ground, kneel on the opposite leg. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I take his elbow and put it up against my thigh or wherever I can get it, so that way I can create an arm bar for him to tap. And once he taps, you can punch them, you can roll out of the way, or you can just get out of there. So it's up to you. You just have to make sure that you get that arm bar locked in, okay? So let's do it from the opposite angle. So he's going to come in with a push. I step back, so that way, even if he tries to grab me, I create enough space. Once I get there, I'm going to wrap my arm around, bring my back knee in for a knee strike, take his head, push it through the middle, keeping hold of that arm. I step across, rotate the arm so that the elbow is on my thigh, break the arm, punch, roll out of there if needed. And that was self-defense number 3. Self-defense number 4 is very similar to self-defense number 3 in the way that I take him down. So he's going to grab my shoulders. This is also known as an onsides takedown. So let's say me and Mr. Martin are grappling. I'm going to do the same thing I did in number 3 to take him down. I'm going to bring my arm through the middle. I take my hand. I bring it to the same side. That's why it's called an onsides takedown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate his body. But once I get him down on the ground, I'm going to go into a side mount so that way I have dominant position. So I rotate his body. And then I get into side mount, just so that way I have dominant position, and I can probably rotate into mount from there. But again, let's just do it from a different angle. So from here, I'm going to go to the other side. I reach underneath, go to the same side. I rotate his body. Even if you don't get it all the way through, the whole purpose of this is to take him down. So if I just rotate his body down and he doesn't rotate that much, I just got to make sure that I get into the side mount, so in that way he can't get anywhere from the ground. And that was number 4. Moving on to number 5. This one is actually done off of a jab cross. So he has his hands up in the guard. He's going to come in with a jab cross. It doesn't matter which hand he actually uses. I'm just going to do 2 wall blocks. So he's going to come in, I do a wall block, I fire back and counter with a jab cross, elbow of my own. We get into the clinch. I'm going to do 2 knee strikes. 1, 2. I'm going to grab him and I'm going to do the drop throw. So when I do my drop throw, what I'm doing is my body's going to be completely sideways on the ground. And I'm just going to throw him over my body, and it's his choice to either roll or just fall down to the ground. So I'm going to grab him. He's just going to roll right over me as I take him down. Just like that. And now we're on opposite sides, so that way we can get a different angle. So we're here. Has his hands up in the guard. I have my hands up. He comes in with a jab cross, wall block, jab cross, elbow, grab, knee strike. And if you want to, you can also bring him to the other side. Just looking around at the room. So you can bring him on to the other side, throw another knee, grab him again, and then do the drop through. So I'm just going to do it going this way now, so that way you can see the little swing. So when I do my drop throw, I just swing my leg to the side, and I drop down, and then I bring him over across. So from here, I'm just going to show you on this side. Bring him across. Just like that. So that was self-defense number 5, and now we're going to go into self-defense number 6. So my hands up. So Mr. Martin is going to come in with a hook punch this time. I'm going to do a simultaneous palm heel and hammer fist that goes to the bicep. So this is meant to stun the arm. From here, I'm going to take the hand that's doing the hammer fist to the bicep. I'm going to do a vertical punch up to the chin, and I'm going to throw a backhand elbow up to the chin as well. And then he's going to come in with his own hook punch just to counter. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to trap. So I'm going to take my opposite hand, trap twice to the inside, 1, 2. So that way I can grab the arm. My free hand does a hammer fist to the bicep, and then to the ribs, and then I can hit again, or I can just disengage. Okay, so I know that's a long one, and it is a fast one as well. So let's just do it again. So he comes in, simultaneous. I'm blocking here, striking there. I'm going to take that hand that's by the bicep, I'm going to strike up. Elbow, he attacks me, I do a reverse wall block to block. Take my opposite hand, I trap down, 1, 2. Hammer fist, strike, push away. Alright, let's just do it one more time from a different angle so that way you can see. So he comes in, I block, and I'm hammer fisting to the bicep. I take that same hand up to the chin, I block, trap, hammer to the bicep, hammer to the ribs, strike as many times as I want, and disengage. Alright, so that was set number 2 for the first degree black belt self-defense. You can also find the other sets, if you need to, on the website. Thank you.